Hi everyone, and welcome to our lesson for the day here, actually lesson number 2, which is connecting is all about others. So you should have your worksheet with you. It should be the blank worksheet for lesson number 2, and make sure that you have a pen or pencil ready with you so that you can fill in the blanks on the worksheet. Occasionally you're going to find me kind of looking down because I have my worksheet here in my notes that as I help you to fill in the blanks for you, that I'll be reading those things to you so that you'll get the notes as well. But today we have in the middle of these notes, it's a very short note, but there are some really powerful stories about my personal life and even some stuff that I want to share as well that I think that will help you to understand this idea that connecting is all about other people. So make sure you get some notes ready, get a couple of key principles ready here as we go through the lesson. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Connecting, lesson number 2, is all about other people. And this really is a huge principle, isn't it? You see, people look at connecting as a skill. In our last mastermind group that we got together, we spoke a little bit about how connecting usually doesn't come naturally. It's something that it's a skill. It's developed over time. The longer you do it, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it, and you'll probably be the best at it when you're on your deathbed. That's when you'll connect the best with people. But you see, not only is it a skill, but I want you to think about this for a moment. Connecting with people is as much of an attitude about people as it is a skill in being able to connect with people. Now you can write that down. I'll say that again. Connecting with people is as much of an attitude about people as it is a skill in being able to connect with people. So we're not going to talk too much about the skill today. We're going to talk a little more about the attitude and why connecting really is about other people. I shared with you that in the past I have not been a very good connector. And from a young age I was taught to communicate well and communicate effectively from a young age. I have 15 years of that under my belt, but not connecting so much. I thought connecting was all about getting people to connect with me. That's what connecting was. I have to connect with you one-on-one. I need to get you to buy into my leadership. I need to find a way to get you to buy into my product or help you to follow me as I wave the flag in front of the group, to buy into my vision, my dream, my goal, my way, and my product. And if I could get you to buy into any one of those things, boy, I must have connected really well with you then, didn't I? I love this cartoon in your notes. You can take a look at it down below the cartoon. This is kind of funny. It says, there is no I in team, but there is an M and an E, and that spells me. And I tell you, we've all heard that. I grew up saying there was no I in team, but you know what? Subconsciously, there really was a me. There really was an M and an E in team. And that really hurt my ability to truly connect with other people. In your notes, Zig Ziglar said that if you first help people get what they want, they will help you get what you want. And after looking at this and really just cherishing this quote by Zig Ziglar, it's been so clear to me that I was trying to help people get what I want, not what they want. So the moment I decided or chose to change my focus from me to helping others get what they want, that is when I found that success came right around the corner in my life. It's not about what I want, it's about what they want. And that's really truly what connecting is. So we looked and said, well, why have I focused on myself instead of others? So let's go ahead and go to your notes here. Why I focused on myself instead of others. Number 1, immaturity. Just simply too young. A lot of people look at maturity as an age thing. We can automatically assume that teenagers and 20-year-olds and maybe even some 30-year-olds are very immature, and usually maturity comes with age, right? And I would venture to say, while that is definitely true, I would also add something to that. The definition in your notes here of maturity is the ability to see and to act on behalf of others. You see, I could only see and act on behalf of myself. That is maturity. So you can be a teenager and be mature enough to see an act as long as it's on behalf of other people. And the minute you start shifting your mind to other people versus on yourself, that's the minute that you are now a mature individual. And mature individuals are individuals that connect well with other people. Number 2 is ego. In your notes, ego. You can write this down. Calvin Miller, who is the author of the book The Empowered Communicator. If you're a speaker or a communicator, if you're trying to communicate with clients or potential clients, I know this book is out of print, but you can probably pick up a copy on Amazon, The Empowered Communicator by Calvin Miller. He wrote a little note here, or a little story in the book, and that's one of his ways to get points across, and this story is on ego. You can follow along with me in the notes. I'm going to read this. He says, "Dear speaker, your ego has become a wall between yourself and me. You're not really concerned about me, are you? You're mostly concerned about whether or not this speech is really working, about whether or not you're doing a good job. You're really afraid that I will not applaud you, aren't you? You're afraid that I won't laugh at your jokes or cry over your emotional anecdotes. You're so caught up in the issue of how I'm going to receive your speech that you haven't even thought much about me at all. I might have loved you, but you're so caught up in self-love that mine is really unnecessary. If I don't give you any of my attention, it's because I feel so unnecessary here. When I see you at the microphone, I see a narcissist at his mirror. Is your tie straight? Is your hair straight? Is your department impeccable? Is your phraseology perfect? You seem in control of everything but your audience. You see everything so well but us. The blindness to us, I'm afraid, has made us deaf to you. We must go now. Sorry, call us at some other time later. We'll come back to you when you're real enough to see us. After your dreams have been shattered, after your heart has been broken, after your arrogance has reckoned us with despair, then there will be room for all of us in your world. Then you won't care if we applaud your brilliance. You'll be one of us. Then you'll tear down the ego wall and use those very stones to build a bridge of warm relationship. We'll meet you on that bridge. We'll hear you then. All speakers are joyously understood when they reach with understanding." Signed, your audience. Why haven't we learned to connect well? Ego. And oddly enough, God says in His Word that pride is one of the biggest things in the Bible that He detests. Number 3, you can go back to your notes here, is our failure to value everyone. Failure to value everyone. You see, our failure to value everyone causes us to not connect well with other people. And this is one of the reasons why we just don't. Because we don't value everyone that's around us. I love this story about college students who were taking their final exam in nursing. They were about to enter into the medical profession field, and they're taking their final exam, and they're in the room with their professor, and the professor hands out all the tests, and as they're going down and they start the test, they're answering all the questions and going through their question, and most of the people ended around the same time, and they ended up at the last question. And the last question simply on their exam said this: what is the name of the cleaning lady who cleans our room? Well, naturally, the students were a little confused, and they wondered, what I don't understand. This has nothing to do with nursing. So a few of them raised their hand in front of the group, and they asked the professor, they said, "Excuse me, professor, is this question really necessary? We're a little confused at why this is on the test." And the professor simply said, "It is absolutely necessary. As a matter of fact, this question, what is the name of the cleaning lady who cleans our room, is probably the number one most important question on this entire test. Because you're about to enter into a profession that is not the medical field. You're entering into a profession that is the people field. And you will be dealing with people using the skills that you have just learned. To add value to others, one must value others. And it's the biggest mistake in our connecting with people, that we don't value everyone around us. We look at other people in a higher regard, but the ones that are lower than us, we don't really consider them and think that they have needs and they have challenges and they need help as well. Why haven't we connected well? Because we haven't valued everyone. See, there are 3 questions that people ask when they want to connect with you. And this will always be the questions that they ask. They're asking them subconsciously in their mind. It's not something that they verbalize, but if you can memorize these and know these and understand that everybody you connect with and every person that you talk to subconsciously is asking these 3 things, it will make you a better connector. Number 1, do you care for me? They always ask, do you care for me? Anyone who is listening, who is falling down in their life, they want to know this. Do you care for me? Number 2, can you help me? They want to know, is it going to get better? What can you do for me? I'm not interested in what I can do for you. They want to know how you can help me. And next, can I trust you? Can I trust you? Am I a trustworthy individual? You know, recently I was at a conference with John Maxwell and the John Maxwell team several months ago, and this is a team of individuals who are speakers, who are trainers, who are coaches, who are looking to improve. John Maxwell got together a faculty of people, including himself, that teaches us. Anyone can be a part of this team. If you're interested in knowing more about that, feel free to stop by and talk with me. But we were with this group of people from all over the world. And John Maxwell was filming one of his Minute with Maxwell sessions. If you don't know what that is, feel free to talk with me too, as it's a free email minute that you get every day, video driven by John Maxwell. They're absolutely wonderful. Before he started filming, he brought up a family, a father and 2 sons, and the 2 sons had just graduated college and jumped into Dad's business. And before they started filming, John asked Dad, where he lived and what he does for a living. And the father says, well, I'm from Augusta, Georgia, and I go into doing such and such business. And John said, hold on, back up. Where are you from again? The father said, I'm from Augusta, Georgia. John says, the Masters, Augusta, Georgia? And the dad says, absolutely. He says, do you like golf, John? And John says, I love golf. The dad says, well, have you ever been to the Masters when it was going on? And John says, I absolutely have been at the Masters watching. Matter of fact, I can have the ability to go to any football game around the country. I have the numbers in my phone of almost every athletic director in the country of college football. So I've been to the Masters. The dad says, well, have you ever played at Augusta National Golf Course? John says, I have not. He says, well, I happen to be a member at Augusta, and I know how much you love golf, and I would like to invite you to be my partner at Augusta to play around the golf. And perhaps if you would like to join me, maybe we can have a quick lunch of 15-20 minute bite to eat in between, and I can pick your brain and get to know you a little and ask you some questions. And John said, wow. Not only will I take you up on your offer, but I tell you what, I will talk to you and answer any questions you have about your business, about your personal life. I will talk to you for the entire 4 hours of 18-hole round of golf. And of course, the son said, "Please, Dad, can I join too? We want to play and get on some of that 4-hour John Maxwell time." You see, the dad was just wondering if he could get 15 minutes of time, and it turned into 4 hours of time. You know, what was he doing? What was Dad doing? Dad was understanding the power of connecting with someone else. He was willing to bring him. He was willing to serve him, to treat him to his favorite thing on one of his favorite, most beautiful golf courses in the country, not really expecting anything in return, just hoping for a few minutes of his time. And in return, he got 4 hours of his time. And that is a wonderful story about how connecting is all about other people. When I connect with John Maxwell at church, when I serve him, I make sure that he has his special drink there and his special cup, and he has his special pen to sign books if he needs to, or that I have an iPhone charger there if he needs to, because I want to meet every need that he has. And through the years I've been able to do that. I've been able to, in meeting his needs, he's been able to give me and spend time with my wife and I and give us 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, because I understand that I just need to meet his needs. It's all about him. It's not about me. I'm just privileged enough to get something out of it in return. To end here, you can write this down, and this isn't in your notes, but I just want to leave you with a thought here for the day, that anyone who is self-consumed, that is more interested in looking the part or doing their best to look good or pulling off looking good in front of a group or in front of a person, will never, ever, ever really connect with people. To connect with people, you must forget yourself. You must forget about all yourself. Many people are not natural in speaking or sales or communicating, but they're not natural in it because they've never learned how to forget themselves and free themselves up to be with other people. The minute you can shed yourself and just give to other people and make connecting about other people is the time when you will be successful in your communicating and connecting. The key concept in your notes to end off is connecting begins when the other person feels valued. I hope you enjoyed this short lesson today. Feel free to review it, look over your notes, and we look forward to seeing you in our mastermind group together. Take care now. Bye-bye.